A year ago, I tried taking online piano lessons, but after a while, I found the experience to be quite overwhelming and frustrating because I didn't feel like I was making any progress and I didn't enjoy learning or practicing with an app. So I quit. And recently, I still felt strongly wanting to learn to play piano. So I gave myself another chance. But this time, I wanted to learn it with a private teacher in person. So I went online and looked up for piano teachers in my area, found a few, with one being the closest one. I called her up, and honestly, I had no idea what kind of questions I should be asking her. So I just asked her things like if she's accepting new students, how much she's charging, what her availabilities are, and stuff like that. And after a couple minutes of conversation, I just made an appointment for my first lesson for the week after. And I really enjoyed my first lesson. Obviously, it's my first lesson. I told her that I'm completely a beginner, like I know nothing about piano, even though I did know something. I did know the basics from on my online lessons. So I went in and she sat me down, and the first thing she showed me was the middle C note on her piano, because knowing middle C note is the first step to learning to navigate a piano. And after that, she started showing me the basics on what's on the sheet musics, like I have here in front of me in my notebook that I got specifically for this purpose. I'm planning to write down what I learned after each lessons, and hopefully make a video for each lesson so that it can help me see my progression, and also hopefully for someone out there who's also curious how in-person piano lesson is like I was, then yeah, you can see that. So the symbols that she's walked me through, things start with the staff, and the staff consists of 5 horizontal lines with 4 spaces separated into different measures by these bar lines. And on a staff at the beginning, it is either a treble clef or bass clef. Treble clef indicates the notes to be played are the notes to the right of middle C, and then bass clef indicates the notes to be played are the notes to the left of middle C. I used to think that the treble clef means we play with our right hand, and then bass clef means we play with our left hand, which obviously not true. And then the piano keys divided into octaves. Middle C being in the first octave. Starting from middle C, we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And I don't know why it starts with C instead of A. Obviously, I know nothing about music or piano. I don't know history about music or piano. I'm just here to learn step by step and not get myself overwhelmed and wanting to quit again. So here we have first octave, which was the region that I learned in my first day. And then moving on to notes, and we'll skip time signatures for now. Here we have whole note that is represented by this line circle, and with whole note we press and hold for the whole measure. And then half note is half of the whole note. It's represented by the line circle with the vertical bar on the right. And then quarter note, it's 1/4 of a whole note, and is represented by the filled circle with the vertical bar. And eighth note, it's 1/8 of a whole note, and it's represented by the filled circle with the vertical line and the slightly squiggly slanted line extending from the top vertical line. And then the 16th note, similar to the 8th note, but instead of one slanted line, there's two lines there. And then let's go back to time signatures. Time signatures indicates how many beats to play per measure. For example, we have 4 4 here. The top number 4 indicates that there are 4 beats per measure, and then the lower bottom number 4 indicates that it's a quarter note equals 1 beat. And how we count beats, so my teacher had me count out loud the beats as I play each note, and then having never talk that much or say anything out loud for that long, my throat was just right after. But the way how it works is if it's a 4 beats per measure, we do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and if it's a 3 beats per measure, we do 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and you get the idea. So that is what we covered in my first lesson. Like I said, I really enjoyed my first lesson, and I will continue to take this in-person lessons because it was definitely fun, and I didn't feel like I need to learn so much all at once. And now it's time for practice. So I have this keyboard given to me by a family friend / roommate. When they left, they gave me this keyboard, and I've been using it when I took my lessons online, and also when I want to just press a key when I'm bored or something. And for today's practice, I will start with this piece, play tune, but since I will only play with one finger at a time, with one hand at a time, I will not be doing this last whole note here. I'll be only doing the first 3 measures. And this is time signatures that we talked about. This represents the number of beats per measure. It's 4 beats per measure. And then here means that the quarter note represents each bit. So let's give it a try with my right hand first. Let's do it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now with my left hand, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and also before I met with my teacher, I kind of like play like this with my fingers flat on the keyboard, but she told me that I should play like I holding like a stress ball with my fingers. They're kind of like round cup like this. Well, it's not easy. I'm still not used to that yet, but over time I hope it will become more natural to me.